Hello, Chevra. Welcome once again to the Cantor's Corner. This week we read in Parshat Shelach Lecha how spies were sent into the Promised Land in order to suss out some information. They came back bearing an incredibly large bundle of grapes, so big it took 2 people to carry it. However, they also came back with news that incredibly large people, or perhaps a very numerous people, were also in the land. Upon hearing such tales of a group that would be very difficult to overpower, most of the Israelites responded with doom and gloom, many of them wishing that they were once again in the land of Egypt. A couple believed that they were able to overcome such an obstacle, and thankfully, with God's help, they were able to do so. It just goes to show you that even our ancient ancestors were well aware of the basic principles of economics, that with great risk often comes great reward. We see this in nearly every aspect of our everyday lives. But I believe we especially see this when we are looking to institute radical change. Such an attempt was made most recently on the Senate floor, where a bill was introduced that would have prevented roughly 100,000 people on the FBI's terror watch list from being able to purchase firearms. Unfortunately, that bill was stopped. It took senators a 15-hour filibuster to even get that bill to the Senate floor. Now, these senators, when they went into their filibuster, they knew they were taking a risk. They knew their party was not in the majority, and they also knew that the NRA is a formidable lobbying force. So why did they take the risk? They took the risk because in this year alone, over 6,000 people have been killed by gun violence. Of those 6,000, 1,500 of them were under the age of 18. And of those, about 250 of them were under the age of 11. They took the risk because mass shootings have become commonplace in our society. In fact, not even a week after the tragedy in Orlando, there was a mass shooting in Exmoor, Virginia. 3 people were injured. 1 person was killed and another arrested. This was barely reported at all, and even so, only on local news channels. It's clear to me that if we want to see an end to mass shootings, our government officials need our help. They can't do it alone. So what can we do to help? First and foremost, contact our senators. Let Sherrod Brown know that you approve of him having voted for these Senate bills. And voice your concern and displeasure to Rob Portman on how he could vote against amendments designed to keep us safe. Arm yourself with the facts. Websites like the Gun Violence Archive have up-to-date information on shootings across the U.S., including incidents that are not given national news coverage. Also, find ways to demonstrate or participate in campaigns against gun violence. Groups like the Coalition Against Gun Violence or Everytown are great places to start, and great places to get more involved. We are taught in Judaism that to save one life is to save the whole world. We saw over 50 worlds instantaneously ended before their time in just one night on our soil. Let's work for the day when incidents like those are but a distant memory.